I don't drink pink wine. I don't want pink wine. No, I want Cabernet. I don't like Syrah. I know Merlot is not for me. Nope, no, none of that. No, sweet stuff, don't touch it, you know. You know, don't judge a book. Didn't your mom tell you don't judge a book by its cover? Well, I'm going to tell you. Hi, I'm Larry Baker. I am a certified level 2 sommelier and senior wine and spirit specialist here at ABC Fine Wines and Spirits in Sunrise, Florida. So many people just have a predetermination in their mind when they see the color of a wine, a country of a wine, and they just automatically say, I don't drink that. I was talking with my friend Dwayne. I always plug my friends on this thing here, Dwayne in Seattle, and it's like somebody saying, I don't drink any red wine. I'm a white person. I only drink white wine. You know what I mean? I only drink, that's my thing. I don't like red. That means you're just like, predetermining that all red wines in the world, the hundreds of thousands of red wine, you hate them all, you only drink white wine. Or I'm a Chardonnay person, that's it. Or I only drink, you know, white Zinfandel, that's it. Well, a lot of wine, sometimes what it looks like in your head might be the wine that you really want. And we're going to show some examples exactly what I'm talking about. Rosé wine that we've talked a lot about on this blog. Rosés, most people, a lot of people predetermine by the color of the rosé, the lighter the rosé, especially the French style rosés in Provence. They're just barely pink. Just a little bit of touch from the skins or from the free run juice, depending what method they make. But yet, we've talked about this great rosé, Domaine de Carteris. And this is from Tavel in the Rhone Valley. Look at that red here. This is a rosé made with Grenache and Syrah and Mourvedre and Claret. Picapol, there's some white wines in there, but they leave it on the skin longer. These are dark skins, and you would see this and say, no, this is way too dark for a rosé, and say, I'm not drinking that. I like a lighter color. This is going to be too heavy and viscous, but yet it's light, it's crisp, it's got tannins. It's one of my favorite rosés on the shelf, but Tavel this is going to be the color in that Rhone area, near the Rhone. This is the area of Tavel, so don't judge a book by cover. You would walk away. There's some rosés from Calabria that have a dark orange color, and sometimes they're darker. And yeah, some American rosés that you see from a Cabernet Sauvignon, that's going to be a darker skin. That might be not, but don't just automatically assume if it's too dark of a rosé, I'm not going to drink it. Lambrusco. What's the first thing? I'm not even going to show you the bottle. Lambrusco. You hear Lambrusco, you think of the industrial size bottle, you think of soda pop, you go, this is supermarket stuff, but there's so many varietals in the Emilia Romagna area of Italy, and Lambrusco can be a pretty, I'm not going to say serious, but a really classy wine and different style. It's not just all sugar water here. This is a great new Lambrusco that we have here, a direct-to-you product that we sell here from Cleto Chiarelli. This is Lambrusco, and one of the clones is called Gasparoso di Castelvetro. And on the bottle, if Andrew could zoom in here, it says amabile. Okay, that is what I learned this morning, actually, in a training session, that it's the version of demi-sec in French champagne or sparkling wine, Cremant. Demi-sec is semi-sweet. And this wine is a Lambrusco, but it was served in a fine dining restaurant with my wine supervisor, my wine sales supervisor, Paul, another plug for a friend and supervisor. He had it in an osteria in this area with pork belly. And it makes sense because this wine is velvety. It is not sweet at all. It's got some fruitiness to it, but it's also got tannin. It's also got structure. I could see this with salamis from this area, with coca. I could see this with something fatty like pork belly. I could see this with lardo. I could see it with 100 different things, but this was really a solid. This is a Gasparosa varietal. There's so many, like I said, varietals that make up the Lambrusco grape in that region, but it's the style. This semi-sweet style. This is not a sugary sweet Lambrusco. $12.99. Quality Lambrusco. I would drink this on a regular basis, not just a fun little picnic wine that reminds you of Ripple with bubbles in it. Syrah. Australian Shiraz, automatically that style of Syrah, everybody thinks jam. They think, too much fruit, too much sweetness, too much jam. Well, we did the written review about this, which I loved, and today in our wine training, the 2015 Jim Barry, the Lodge Hill Shiraz from Clare Valley, that we talked about on my internet, and I told you I love this style of Shiraz. Why did I like it? Because it wasn't jammy. In fact, the first thing you smell on the aromatics of this wine is not jam, not sugar, not blueberries and blackberries. You smell cloves. You smell lots of cloves and almost brushed sage first, seared in butter. Lots of greenness to this wine, which I love. There's great, beautiful fruit on the palate as well, but it finishes all the way through with that green notes of even dill, rosemary, sage, lots of cloves on the finish from the American oak and the style of the wine they're making. In fact, we had some guests, an Italian wine supplier who thought out of all the wines we sampled him from his country or America, this was the best wine on the table, and he usually doesn't like Australian Shiraz, so don't think just all Shirazes from Australia are the same. But then again, if you see this is from Grenache, which I've talked about this wine in written review, this is 100% Syrah from the Northern Rhone. This is not jammy either, but this is not like that wine you saw that I just showed you, the Jim Barry. This one is a $34 bottle of wine, that Northern Rhone. This is smoky. This tastes like tar, roasted meats. This is like the asphalt. This is a completely bone-dry, big, muscular, tannic wine from Grenache, 100% Syrah. Don't judge every Syrah to be, kangaroo stuff or anything like that. Pinot Noir. Every time you hear Pinot Noir, you hear the same thing. That's too light. I need something rich and full body. But that's not all true. Some cases it is. It's transparent, it's complex, but we've talked about Casa del Bosque from the Casablanca Valley in Chile. This is a very rich, full-bodied, 100% Pinot Noir Reserve. This is a mouthful of very fruit-forward. James Suckling says this is real Pinot. It's not my style, as I've said in my written review, but this is not the Pinot that's watery in your eyes. However, when you go to Burgundy in the $30 price range, this is my baby, this is my style. This is Pinot Noir too, from the village of Mercury. This is Domaine Faverly 2016, Burgundy. That's the famous grape of Burgundy, Pinot Noir. But this is old world, barnyard earthiness, mushroomy, very transparent, lighter, but really earthy. Not this stuff that you think Pinot Noir. This is just a light little fruity tooty wine. So that's what I want you to say. Just be open-minded and don't automatically think a style or somebody mentions a grape that you think you're not going to like the wine, because try it. There's so many different styles and expressions of that grape. Don't don't just automatically think you're not going to like it. For further information of any of the wines I showed you, go to our website at www.abcfws.com, and of course you can contact me or follow the archives of my blog by putting your name right here, and you can see I've reviewed some of these wines on there, and remember that wine is not for snobs. And I mean that. Snobs are the ones that misjudged it and Stereotype. It's for everyday people like you and me. Remember, don't judge a book by its cover.